We're really interested in their courtship behavior and particularly why males build this little structure. Now, there's all sorts of reasons for responding to a signal that a female might use. And it might be because it advertises the male is a good male, they're going to be a good mate, have a good burrow, maybe produce babies that are going to be healthy. And so we just sort of were curious about, well, what about this little structure? Is that the kind of explanation you can use to understand that? So we started to watch females, and they were really attracted to males that build them. And we said, well, why is that? Why is that the case? And so we did a number of experiments. We took them off, and from males that built them, and we put them on the burrows of males that didn't build them on a particular day, and we moved them around. And the results showed that females were paying attention, using their vision to pay attention to these structures. And that's what made, not entirely, but mostly, that's what made a male attractive. Why is that the case? Well, when females choose a mate, they have to go from male to male to male to male in an area like this in the open beach. The problem with that is there are many birds that are ready to eat fiddler crabs. And basically, fiddler crabs, as adults, are bird food. So we did some experiments where we put females in a circle on the sand, and around the circle we put burrows without these little structures, and then we made lots of, you can see lots of these replicates of the structure. And then on every other burrow we put some with and some without the structure. And then we took a fishing pole and put the female in the middle, and we ran the bird over where the female was and asked her, where does she go? Does she go to the plain burrow, or does she go to the burrow with the structure? And she almost always goes to the burrow with a structure. So that showed us that, wow, well, maybe what they're doing is running to these objects in order to stay safe. So we did a final set of experiments where we took a handful of dog food, and we did this over and over again many times, and we spread it out on the sand, and the dog food attracts birds. And the birds come to eat the dog food, but the crabs don't know that. All they see is the scary bird. So what we did is we increased the risk for a female of moving from one male to the other. And then we asked again, well, how does this change, if at all, her behavior? Does she become more attracted to males that build these little structures, which we have shown they will run to when birds chase them? And the answer was yes. So the more risky it is, the more a female prefers males with these structures. And so what this told us then about courtship in general was that not everything in advertising is an honest statement about some benefit that an individual will obtain if they gain access to that product, in this case, a male. So it's not something about the male that's being advertised here. It's something about the safety of being able to visit the male. And when you are maybe going with your parents on a trip and you're in the car and everybody's hungry, but you're in a state and it's kind of late at night that you've never been at, and you really don't know where to stop, and you're a little bit worried about that, and you drive by the highway, and here's one of these great big signs that sticks up, and it shows you where maybe a Burger King or a Wendy's or a McDonald's is, and you say, oh, okay, there's where we want to go, because we know what to expect. We can do that safely, without error, without problems. And that's basically what this is doing.